So, just want to say happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day for the United States. Either way, a happy summer. Hopefully, you get a chance to go out there and visit family, friends, eat good food. Surprisingly, outside tonight, there was like a lot of fireworks. I know that a lot of public fireworks have been canceled, but you couldn't tell from all the stuff I heard in the backyard, all these people launching things of various, places. Hopefully, you got a chance to see or experience something. Anyways, just want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July and just see, you can hear it. So, just want to keep this short and simple. And I'm working on something slightly different, not new, but slightly different. And you should see it soon. And I have to create a new intro video. I'm just trying to find a abandoned military base. Hey, Rochelle, how you doing? Is Canadian. Do you guys celebrate anything 4th of July wise? I mean, I know for us, is Independence Day. For those that don't know, it's some people may think, oh, what is actually Independence Day? It's when we became independent from Britain. When the colonizers came over to the United States, they took over the United States, Britain, France, and Spain were all involved. And the United States says, you know what, we're going to create our own government. So Britain, go away. And that was Independence Day. There's a whole more to it, obviously. Canada Day is on the 1st. Oh, okay, cool. Is it like an Independence Day or is it just like a celebration day? I'm not too familiar. Only non-US holiday that I know of that's not typical. Oh, geez, I totally forgot about it. It's that long fasting day. Ramadan, yes, Ramadan. Because I knew a couple people that actually. Okay. So you used to see it from England, and we used to see it from England, and everyone said, you know, in England, I can't stay because I've got to do my perfect pitch. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, I was actually listening to your perfect pitch there, and it almost sounds like the sound in the recording was like from like a while ago. The guy sounded like he's either from the 50s or 80s. Discord, yes, Discord and collabs, of course, collabs. She's still on our cash. That's right, Canadian money. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth is on the money. I still have some of the older. Let's see what currency I have: Canadian, Malaysian, Italian, Chinese. There's some Japanese yen, Turkish. I actually have pesos, Mexican pesos. I got currency from all over. Tapes, as in like cassette tapes or 8-track tapes. Yeah, I used to actually own a 8-track tape player called not R2D2. It was what was that thing? It looked like a little robot. You played 8-track tapes, but it was actually games, and you had these 4 buttons you push, and the tracks would switch based on the selection. Like an adventure game, you say you could go left, go right, go straight, or fight the goblin. And if you hit the button, it'll skip to a particular time in that track, and then it was actually pretty cool at the time. But yeah, yeah, those things were sturdy. That I forget that robot's name, but it lasted for at least it's probably still works. Yeah, the 8-tracks, it was like these big clunky things, probably this wide. You just put it in your. Kind of reminded me of like Nintendo cartridges where you had to blow on it to get it to work. And yeah, I had a fun time today because I remember tapes. 8-tracks, yeah, they're thick, clunky. They're still like the magnetic tapes, but they're a little bit wider. And what? Maybe I can find out what it is. Yeah, let me use my Google flu real quick. 8-track robot. Yes, 2XL. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, Google 2XL. now, bear warning that back in the day, everyone would think it's cute, but it has kind of like an uncanny valley kind of look to it. But I used to have one of those, and it was actually pretty cool. Nintendo cartridges, yeah. Yeah, so if you get a chance, actually, let me see. I'll just pull up an image here just so you can see it. Let me get a good one here. Let me flip the video. Oh, come on. Huh. Yeah, actually, wow, $325 in eBay. Here, I'm going to show it to you. That's the dude, 2XL. I had one of these things. See the buttons? So, question, yes, true, more info, no, false. There's a lot of educational stuff. So, it'd be like, who is the first president of the United States? And you click on more info. It's like, this guy was pictured in a famous painting kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, and when you hit the buttons, you hear like this beep boop boop beep boop, and he had whoever the voice actor was had a very unique voice. Man, I got was my buddy, but look at this. I didn't realize this. Where is it? Here. Yeah. eBay, $325 plus that crazy shipping for this little guy. Huh. Yeah, that brings me back. That was definitely a 1978 Type 2 Mego Toy 2XL talking robot with 10. Oh, what games did they come with it? Oh, they're not showing the games, are they? Oh, the books. Wow. It almost looks like mine, the way the tapes are. Yeah, they had like educational stuff, games, stories. This one has a better picture. Math puzzles. Wow. I didn't think I'd be going in nostalgia way. There's at least two people watching. Why does it only say one? Huh? Weird. I don't know. It's YouTube's weird thing. Yeah. Actually, this other one is 150. This other, most of them seem to be 130 and 140 and 150. So it's eBay. People try to, push the envelope when it comes to these things. If you ever watch the Dad channel, he has a wish list on Amazon, and one of his wish lists is a coin that's selling for $24,000. Like, yeah, okay, good luck with that, buddy. I don't think anyone's gonna just spend 24 grand on a coin for somebody else. That's, yeah. Anyways, I hope you had at least some fun. People charge what they can, 50,000. 50,000, yeah. I remember that some kid posted on here on eBay once. It got taken down like immediately, but he was able to keep for at least a day or two where he's trying to sell his virginity for like $10 million or some ridiculous thing. It actually hit the news, and everyone was talking about it. And as soon as it became public, they took it down, and they changed the whole policy that you can't sell things like that for that chest. Chest. I wonder if they have a list here. Because I used to be able to tell most expensive thing on eBay. Eat and stream. Most expensive. We don't have any deals. I'm not looking for deals. I'm just looking for, yeah, there you go. Huh. They're not showing it. Interesting. Most pricey mystery box. Yeah, let me take a look at that. Price. Wow, okay. The search $3. Yeah, 50 grand. I see it. 100K most expensive. Wow. Okay, cool. 100K most expensive mystery box challenge. Only the few and brave can do this. Ships Santa Barbara, California. So that's actually a pretty ritzy neighborhood. So it could be something actually worthwhile. If we said like Detroit, I'm like, yeah, okay. But Santa Barbara, that's a very high finance, high income area. So I don't think it'll be worth 50 grand, but it might be worth 10 or 20 if whatever's in there. I wonder if anybody's made a bid on this. Oh, it's Etsy. It's an Etsy thing. It's not a eBay. Huh. Well, if I was a billionaire, I'd be curious, but I'm not. 1,000. Well, I'm sure they are. I know a buddy of mine. Speaking of, he actually bought a mystery safe. He got actually found one on Craigslist. Someone was just getting rid of safe, didn't know what the contents was. They said, here, you pay X amount, you get the safe. Whatever's in the safe, you keep. And he actually had to find like instructions on that particular model, find its weak points. And he had to drill and do all these crazy things. He didn't really get he didn't really get much out of it, but it was actually fun just opening up. I mean, who knows? It could be as simple as just like old memoirs or papers. Yeah, it did eventually. He had to let me see. He had to drill the side like the side fuse. It didn't have like anything. It was like, yeah, like Geraldo. He actually had to drill into the side corner to open it up, then put some air pressure to pop out the panel a little bit. Then he had to cut with a torch, and there's like rebar and this weird plastic stuff around it, and he had to cut through that, pull that out. Then he actually had to put more air pressure inside to push whatever backing was, and then he drilled again, and I guess with a sufficient amount of air pressure, pushed the door open from the inside. And it was like a bunch of papers, some knickknacks, but nothing worth, you know. He didn't spend that much on it, so it wasn't a bad deal. But I could just imagine if you open one, you find out like all these stocks and bonds or gold bars or money. Like, who knows? Fat plastic was from the 60s, maybe. It could have been. It did look like it was a pretty old safe. It looked sturdy, but it had definitely had rebar and something else in it too. It had like a thin layer of this weird metallic substance in between it, which he couldn't drill. Once he was actually able to get past the rebar, he was able to cut it. He couldn't drill it, but was able to cut it. So it was some weird amalgam of aluminum, steel, foil kind of thing. And yeah, so I'm actually kind of curious about finding one of those. I'm not gonna spend like crazy amount, but well, yeah. I'm trying to wonder if there's more because I would love to get like a mystery safe or actually just any mystery package and open. I know that the dark web has mystery packages you can spend an X amount and whatever it's. And I've seen other YouTubers do reveals where they just kind of open it up, but that's got to be a risk because who knows what can be, especially if you're trying to do for YouTube. You could not do it live. You would have to do it recording because people could put anything. Like, what if it was like a weapon or weed or something like that? Ah, sticky. Yeah, I don't think I want anything that's sticky. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that. Anyways, I think I may just yeah, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't even want to touch it. I mean, at best it could be just like maybe a soda stain, and but at worst it could be something that you wouldn't even want to touch. I can't imagine like opening something up and suddenly see like a puff of smoke, of some mystery smoke, and then some powder. If I saw that, I would be thinking like the worst case scenario, like, oh, this is some biotoxin thing, you know, an 80s one. It'd be funny to see like open one up and you see like old vinyl records or something that would be iconic of the time, or like even like 60s wardrobe fashion kind of thing, you know, like their favorite wardrobe or something. You know, I think antique dealers may actually have saves. Uh, I haven't seen one. I have seen closets. Yes, time capsule. You know that actually reminds me of something I haven't done, which I've been curious to try, is geocaching, which is pretty much like the modern treasure slash time capsule hunt, where you know you do GPS, go to a spot and find it, but you got to be kind of clandestine about it, because if you just go to like the highway and start poking around, people are like, what's this guy doing? I remember I was parked in front of a restaurant and just eating some Mexican food, and I saw these two guys go up to this pole. They were looking kind of skeevy, and they were kind of digging around, and saw this little package, and they opened up the package and opened up and took something out, and I was like, "What's going on here?" It is competitive, and at first I thought like, well, maybe it's like some sort of like clandestine drug drop or money drop or something. But then I think back on it. Well, it's daylight. I mean, they obviously knew I was watching them, so I was like, I was probably geocaching, or it could have been a drug drop, and they were just pretending like it was geocaching and make it, you know, yeah, who knows? It'd be fun though. Yeah, I have seen where they do like a trail, like you go open one up and there's coordinates for a non-specific, non-geocache. So like you open one up that's registered, and then it has GPS coordinates of another thing, and it's like all these different things. And if you get to the final lane, you get a prize. Yeah, that's a good idea. Go in groups, people that you trust, so that you won't get jumped. Because you're right, it's like Pokemon Go and any of these games where you're out wandering around. It's easy enough to get like someone could be spotting, like, oh, this guy is geocaching. Let's see if we can rob him, kind of thing. So that is kind of a smart advice. Anyways, fireworks have definitely died down. I actually did go outside for a little bit, and I was amazed. Good. Yeah. And speaking of GPS coordinates, well, I'm not going to post anything here now, but as I told a couple of people, actually, one of my friends actually did find something in one of my previous videos, and he was correct. So that's all I'm going to say about that. There's you got to look at some of my older videos, and there's things in there that are pointing to certain things, because I'm going to be shifting my channel. I mentioned a few times. I'm going to be starting doing like conspiracy theories, aliens and ghosts and angels and demons and such. But I'm also going to be investigating AI, artificial intelligence, because back in the day in the 80s, I was playing around with some other people. This is before AOL was big, and where it was like bulletin boards, and trying to create an old AI that, as far as I know, exists to this day, and it was kind of a project that we started, we being me and some other people that I don't know, because it was all usernames at the time. And no, it was not Raxian, although I did have a Raxian ID back then, but this is a different name. And we grew the AI, and it was very simple, but we just kind of let it go, let it just grow. So it's, as far as I know, it's still around. So hopefully, if I make enough videos and get enough people interested in taking a look at some of this stuff, maybe the AI will respond back to the call, so to speak. And I actually did leave a couple messages. Been a whole bunch of sightings we've gotten that work for ghosts. Really, like actual at the workplace. I actually do have aliens. What type of work facility? Because do you know what type of aliens? Aliens, ghosts. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's actually a lot of people really. Huh. May have to check it out if it's possible. Ships. Did you see my latest video? Not this one obviously, but the one I did before towards the end, the Singapore capture. Because when I saw that, I don't know if it's still up, but that was not going to find it on the web. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not going to find that one. But when I saw that Singapore one that happened right the day after SpaceX did their launch, it was posted. It was like a live video that I grabbed. I don't know if it still exists, but I made sure I recorded it and put up. And that was what was sighted in Singapore. I actually did see something when I was out in Virginia Beach, and it wasn't, I didn't record it because I was actually driving, so I couldn't. But I remember driving down the road. It was coming back from a diner, just a local diner, getting some food. And on the right side of the road is a bunch of trees, and past that is part of a military base. And I remember seeing some lights in the woods, and like, okay, that's not a big deal. Then I saw three lights in a triangular formation in the woods, and I'm like, okay, nothing special. But it left the tree line. Yeah. And I looked up, and I saw this perfect little triangle ship come out of the tree line, moved around, did some maneuvers, and then went back in. It had a very weird sign. I actually stopped and looked. I pulled over, and I could see it was like a black metal. Yes, it was silent mostly. It actually had a weird rushing like air noise, and it almost sounded like a very like a muffled silenced turbine. Yeah, actually, yes, blue lights, and I could tell. Well, it was all blue. It was all blue in the one I saw, and it turned from blue to yellow, so I didn't see it actually red. But it had had like a metal. Yes, yeah, helicopter muffled. It had like a black metal triangle with another black metal triangle with like a dark blue gray kind of ridge. It was like a staggered. And I suspect it's a kind of a modernized. My guess it would be like a modernized stealth technology that's being tested, because I know the stealth bomber looks very triangular, but this was a lot more smaller, maneuverable, and it may have been a. It could have been something that was between like the drones that they're testing and the stealth, like a mini stealth drone kind of thing. But it was. I'm trying to think of what how big it would be. It was hard to tell, but I think, well, I'd say if it got close enough, it probably would have been 30 to 40 feet wide, maybe. But I couldn't tell how deep it was. If it was, because it wasn't a pyramid, it was like, it was a triangle, but the width of it wasn't that huge. I thought that at first, but I asked my contact. Oh, okay. Did your contact actually know or identify it or could identify it? That's actually a pretty good contact to have, because they may not be able to tell you stuff, but they could tell you what it's not. I know, like when there's ever secret stuff they're working on, they can't mention secret stuff, but they could definitely say like that's definitely not in our list. 10 stories deep. They do show up on radar. Wonder why it is then. You think maybe it could be like a test craft? I know about 4 new transports. Maybe you could tell me this: is there like an aircraft carrier, like a flying aircraft carrier that is humongous? Because I remember a friend of mine a while back was driving around in New York, and but it's not ours. Yeah, where this lady was driving on up this mountainside, and she saw this humongous ship, and she actually pulled over, and there's a cop that was behind her, and the cop also pulled over to watch too. And they heard this noise, and it's like on a cliff, like a road by a cliffside. And as they hear a noise, they saw this humongous metal thing come like from the cliff. It was kind of rising like this, and it kept again, going up and up, up, and then it stopped and it started going sideways. And as it was going, they were watching. It was really close to the cliff. They actually saw in big bold letters as it was moving USAF, and it kept on going, and eventually it went off and then just flew out. And I'm thinking it was probably like a mobile aircraft carrier or something, because it was big. It took them a long time for it to actually go through and move. So yeah, that was kind of freaky when I heard about that. Only other thing I've seen was in New Hampshire, where I saw lights kind of like, just do the typical, like, defy the centrifugal force kind of thing, where they just moved like statically. But this was way before drones was a thing, at least publicly was a thing. It could have been a drone test that was secret. When was that? It was in the, I like to say 90s. Yeah, something like that. Somewhere around there. Yeah, so I wonder, does your first time I saw I was 17. Do you know if your friend, I mean, if I may be able to contact your friend by any chance? I'm just kind of curious. It's okay if it can't. It may be just one of those things where you could only talk to one person. But I would kind of like pick their brain about some things, specifically things that I've seen, and just to, confirm or deny that what I saw was legit or just not. Also, just because I've come across information lately that I'm very peculiar about. I can't mention one right now because it's too early. No way, unless you want my job too. Why is it too sensitive or something like that? Like you're getting into trouble? Hmm. Yeah, but this one, I almost had an option, and I wish it could have happened, where I have a freaky job. What what's your freaky job? If you can mention it, you may not be able to mention it. It won't scare me. I mean, I've heard of all kinds of jobs. But yeah, a friend of mine who actually used to be a lobbyist uh, in DC was trying to get me like what was it, a private tour of the White House. But he unfortunately he passed away. He had some growth problems. But he was trying to get me a tour of the White House, because I asked him questions about some things, and he couldn't confirm or deny it. But I was really curious about it. So descriptions. Well, maybe you can tell me like off YouTube, that because I can understand you don't want to put on. I used to deal with terrorists and serial killers. Okay, I think I got what it is now. I deal with miscellaneous. Huh. So you were doing like some high profiled uh lack for a better term, jobs or cases, and now you shifted onto something a little more like the catch-all bucket of everything else that kind of falls in the lap. Oh, so you expanded. You've probably seen some pretty weird things because I know a lot of people. A lot of people look at like researching these things like, oh, it's like TV and movie where it's like the typical serial killer or the child predators and stuff. But I know that it's not like like seeing a guy with a in a van like asking for candy kind of thing, because that's actually compared to what exists now. I know that's very mundane compared to like the really dark stuff that exists, like stuff that you actually have to go to therapy to kind of because I know someone who does research into these things, and they have to go through like emotional therapy and psychological therapy every X amount of time because it's just the sheer amount of darkness they have to deal with. Yeah, yeah, like TV almost. Right. I loud and clear. I think I know what you're talking about. Private, and public, and I have weird sense of humor. Uh, I'm wondering if I do. I guess I do. Technically, I do. I mean, I enjoy some mundane humor, but I've one show I suggest to watch, but some people may get freaked out about it. It's called Midnight Gospel. It's actually animated. What is it? Netflix? I think it's Netflix. It's called Midnight Gospel. It's I will say this, it's bizarre, but and it's a lot of weirdness to it, and I don't it's definitely not for kids. We go to well, very true. That is exactly that his humor is kind of like what I like. And one thing I actually wanted to do, I hinted at this with dad. So I want to have like a dance off because I have my virtual raves and such, but not dance off, maybe a duo dance kind of thing. But yes, that's an interesting thing about dad. I remember I was on his channel once, and my channel came up. I was talking to him, and he actually went on the live stream. He actually went to my YouTube, and I could tell it was mine because he went to my intro video. I'm like, "Gah, okay." I was kind of hoping that he was going to subscribe, but he went a couple places and went on to somewhere else. Discord, I have 15 different Discords, and I am admin to like three. I have my one public YouTube Discord back when I was doing more Pokemon Go stuff, and there's still people that talk there. But I also have a private Discord that once my channels, hopefully, when my channel actually starts rolling along and getting more and more, I'll use that for like the special stuff because I got a lot of stuff. I want to actually make an assumptions video, but I won't do that until like I hit at the very least 10,000 subscribers. So I'm trying to get there. If you haven't, please do. If you know anyone, I'm trying to get up there. Please. I'm going to be doing one of the new things I'm going to be doing, and I'll just sneak peek this. It's called 2-minute reviews. Basically, like a quick 2-minute. It's not just going to be movies. It's going to be movies, TV shows, music. It's just going to be 2-minute reviews of all these different things. And actually, I have a stopwatch so you can see if I make it or not. And so far, I haven't released any yet. But I just recorded 6 of them. So I'm kind of like in a hot streak. So I'm going to do like a lot of it, maybe like 50 or 60. And don't worry, I'm not going to like throw it all at once. That'd be crazy. But I'll eke it out. I'm starting off with like like the first week. I'm doing 80s movies. I'll just leave it at that. Won't say anything. Won't give anything away. Then maybe I'll do 90s, and then maybe I'll go into music, and then I want to do one with TV shows. So that's one of the new things I'm working in. The other stuff, the conspiracy and such, and the secret societies. Oh, by the way, what anime do you watch? I know that I saw Dad's like doing his whole anime thing, and I gotta admit his choices are pretty good. Cool. And yeah, if you always you can leave a comment of mine. So if you want to get in contact with me, that'd be great. By the way, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it because I've done like my synth wave and my ambient wave live streams, and I've gotten a few people here there, but sometimes it gets lonely. Okay, you actually might like Midnight's Gospel. Check it out. It's animated, but it's weird. That's the best way of putting it. It's weird. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I've seen recently. A lot of other stuff I've seen was just mundane. Like, believe it or not, it's weird, but I binge watched Fuller House just because I watched Full House when it was on way back then. Just it's for weird nostalgia thing. And I watched Billions and Magicians. I know, all across the board, three completely different series. That's just, I mean, that's why I don't like just any one particular. I mean, I love science fiction and fantasy, don't get me wrong, but I'm willing to expand my horizons to different things. So yeah, check it out. I like Penny Dreadful. Oh, what was that? That's not the Radcliffe one, is it? I can't remember. There's one series I watched and it was actually pretty good. I can't remember the name of it. Oh well. Yep, it's now technically July 5th. I know a lot of people say that July 4th is the end of summer, but that's not right. I mean, end of summer really is August 30th. And even then, sometimes it sticks around, but it's, Victorian times. I like shows in TV and movies that are time based. Is no September 4th. Yeah, it depends on who you ask. In every even in the US, every state is different because everyone has different times for like school. The dreadful time to go back to school. I feel even now being older, I still feel the same way. I'm like when I see back to school, I cringe because I just can feel the collective disappointment of kids. You know, yeah. How did he go from teaching in school to this weird uh, case study thing? Like where you're like, oh, I can't handle this disturbed kids, so I'm going to go and look at disturbed kids, or like you stay busy. You teach and do weird things and watch anime and horror and weird stuff and watch dad 24/7. That's good. That's good. That's not so bad. At least you could talk straight with kids and they actually go there because they want to go to school. Yeah. Oh, actually, that makes sense now. Teach what you know and teach others to do what you do so that you don't have to do forever. That's cool. Do you like doing what you're doing? I mean, not just not the teaching, but the cases and all that stuff. I mean, do you enjoy doing that work? Do they? Well, think of it this way: unlike high school, where you have to go, at least in the United States, you have to go to grade school and high school. In college and universities, yeah, there's some kids that go to required classes and they still kind of feel obligated, but they go to classes they actually want to enjoy. So I think it's more likely that they'll actually enjoy it versus just like all the classes I took in college were I never took an entry level college unless I had to. Like I was offered like, oh, you can do intro to philosophy, or you can take this experimental, 300 level. I took the experimental one, and I actually wound up taking a computer science class that was so experimental. There's only two of us in the whole class, so when one of us was sick, they had to cancel class, and it turned out to be like a 700 to 800 level post grad pre-PhD level classes was way too hard, but they threw it at us. It was like took in my second or third year in college. That was tough. That was yeah. And the philosophy class was just as tough. It was Summa Theologica. Each day we would write 5 to 6 pages of notes, so you could not miss a class. And if you did, and I did miss one, you had to backtrack a lot. Yeah, that was tough. I passed it. I didn't get an A in it, but I passed it. But the final exam was one question, one philosophy question, and you had to answer it. And believe me, I took the full 2.5 hours. I wrote on scrap paper and on the back and the side, and I still did okay. But it was my choice. I could take an intro to philosophy, or I could take in the really tough one. And I always challenge myself. So, like, you know what? I could get an easy A, but I want to actually learn something interesting. So jumped right in. I always do that. That's why I say my hobbies is quantum physics and astrophysics. Anyways, if you're getting tired, I actually spent a lot longer on this than I anticipated. I was only going to do for 5-10 minutes, but whoa, I took an existentialism course once. Huh. You were at 16 wow. So did you like learn Hegel and all that? Was it like philosophical Hegel, or was it just oh, okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, the first philosophy class we went to, like, there's existentialism, then Confucianism, then I forget, like, philosophy of enlightenment, and uh, like post Cold War era philosophy. I forget what it was. It was a more of a generic thing. Yeah, yeah, I gotcha. And it's funny. It reminded me of going with a bunch of buddies to Iron Mountain, Michigan, and one of the guys he was really interested in philosophy. And remember, this is spring break. I don't know why I did this. Spring break, we went up to a cold mountain in the north of America, northern part of America. It was like a guy's weekend kind of thing where went to a hunting cabin. But the guy was like 24/7 philosophy. I mean, I was able to talk shop with him. Well, you're in Canada, you probably think it was like lukewarm, but it was cold. It was below 30 degrees up there. Um, how Canadian are you? Yeah, I mean, it was a hunting cabin with no heat. We actually had to get firewood. Guys grabbed all this firewood, didn't check the correct firewood. It was all wet. Tried burning it, smoked up the whole house. So it was cigar, beers, guns. For guys that really didn't do cigars, beers, and guns. And I remember waking up one morning to it was I remember sleeping there. I heard a shotgun, and at first I was like, "Oh, what is that?" Then I said, "Wait a minute, that was a gun." And opened up my eyes, and the three guys were looking at me, uh, but they're all like smiling at me, and the gun was in the air, like, "Oh, you." Yes, that's the way to go in the summer. I That was the only spring break or any vacation where I actually went someplace colder. I have been to like the beach in New Hampshire, which was coldish, but it's definitely not like cold, cold. All my other places, like down in Florida, Caribbean, Hawaii once, all the southern, really beachy, sunny, warm weather. And considering I've been working remote at home a lot, I've been getting colder lately just because the AC's been on all the time. It's so I can't wait to find something warm. So I'm with you on that. Anyways, I'll let you get some sleep. Oh, you're gonna start doing cruises. Yeah, you're getting old when cruise life starts. Well, think about it. You go on a boat, you get like all you can eat food. They drop you off at a beach, just lounge around and eat and drink. And oh, well, that explains why you're up late. My shift right now is from 3 to 11, so I'm guess you would say swing shift, mid shift. Some people will call it mids, midnight. So it all depends on who you talk about. So yeah, I won't talk about work much. Yeah, well, Caribbean cruises is perfect for you because you can do all three. Actually, where I used to work previously, one of the customers was Royal Caribbean, and they actually had a Caribbean cruise. And I remember we'd check the camera every once in a while. Ship was humongous. They had like their own pool, stage, like all the shopping and restaurants. I mean, you could spend weeks on this thing and not be bored. Yeah, sure. The only thing you have to worry about is that disease that you come across. I forget what it's called, where it's ship related disease. It gets on the metal and gets people sick. When COVID first came out, they a lot of people thought that the disease that they had was this other one, the shipborne one. So they kept on confusing it because it was some sort of like weird digestive thing that happens. But I forget not MRSA. I touched nothing. Yeah. By the way, speaking of, how are you holding out? Are you have you been like self quarantining? Have you been going out, been doing things? You know, hopefully you've been okay. It's been crazy here. Yeah, I've seen the disease. It really is actually. It's like forensic evidence. You just don't want to touch anything. Um, I know recently California they opened up and now they're closing back again because of the. Well, it's actually kind of funny you mention that because I've always been, I won't say I'm a neat freak, but I've always been aware of my surroundings and my environment, specifically just me. Like I like even before this happened, I rarely touch doorknobs with like bare hands, or I use like a shirt or something like that. Or so me being extra cautious has definitely paid off now. Um, but yeah, people are freaking out. Yeah, oh yeah, I have gloves. I have gloves. I have these scrubbies, like these medical scrubbies that I kind of used. Um, but yeah, people are freaking out about Texas and California saying, "Hey, there's a resurgence, blah blah blah." Like, yeah, there is. Ooh. Oh, so you get the good stuff. So you probably have the really good PPE stuff that's actually effective. I was actually thinking of making a live stream video or recorded video because I created a COVID video. You should check it out because it's really funny. I kid you not, a lot of stuff that I from that video, and you could see the date and time of that video. Just now, people are starting to realize it's important, like vitamin D3. Make sure you have as much as that as you can. I was trying to tell people that you need this stuff, and now a lot of research is saying that a lot of the extreme side effects of the disease can be prevented from having it, making sure you have enough vitamin D. Dealing with privilege, or is that the MasterCard? It's both. Now, there's MasterCard, Master Chief, Halo. Master Chief kills a lot of things, makes a lot of dead things. There's a connection. Master Chief is the MasterCard of death. There you go. Dad would be proud. That's one thing that you'll find me. I've I'm very good at just random stream of conscious oddball. I always say things that kind of makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and I just kind of say things. My mind just goes like I could say rubber ducks and maple syrup, and then like start talking about that. Uh, that's why I would love to get like together with Nathan, aka Dad, aka all his other names, and try to do something with him. You know, maybe like not even just a duo, maybe just part of the channel and such. The dead don't carry disease after it gets cold. Yeah, actually, there was a conversation that's saying that the dead body is actually much. It's actually much safer because whatever was in it that caused the person to die died off. So the body is just kind of relaxed now because any contagion or anything, even like if there's a fungus in it or a virus or anything in the body's dead. The fungus and whatever can't survive and it just dies. So it's safer. The dead bodies are actually safer than the nearly dead. Now, of course, we can go to the whole zombie route, and that's a whole other thing. Zombies, they're like walking. I would say a zombie would be like a walking petri dish of contamination. Medical school helps. I thought about actually of being a doctor, and recently I rethought of that too because I'm not squeamish when it comes to like seeing things. But I don't know. That'd be a lot of. It'd be a lot to get into that now. I mean, I have a lot of the knowledge. Now, I haven't memorized all the nerves and bones and all that stuff, but yeah, but it's biology. The only thing I think would be hard to deal with, it's sneaking during internal studies. I think doing anything with the intestines, the lower and large intestine, the small and large intestine in the bowel area, that's probably like the really nasty stuff. Well, people have think that's all where all the waste goes. So you get some pretty foul smelling. Good. I don't think I would either. I mean, I may like have to get outside the room to get some fresh air, but I don't think I would get sick or anything like that. Can't imagine like someone like upchucking in like a cadaver. It's not bad when they're dead cadavers. Yeah. Or well, even worse if like you're like operating in like you're a surgeon and you don't look away and suddenly you expel into a middle of surgery. Lemon fresh dawn. Got to scrub the smell away or the stink away, as they say. Wait, hey, do you want to see my dog? He's kind of sleeping right now. Oh, I feel sorry for you working in emergency rooms. You've probably seen every conceivable stake through hearts and people swallowing pencils and yeah, let me show you. No, he's not dead. He's just sleeping. Come on. Come on. Yeah. You good boy? Yeah. You're on YouTube. You know what you should do? Or maybe you know what you can do? Share him with me and I could do like an Ask Reddit thing. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah. You want pets? You want pets? Yeah. You're famous. Oh, yeah. What? Fierce. No, he's not fierce. Yeah, he's a sleepy boy. If I had a harmonica, it's funny. Whenever I play a harmonica with him, he actually tries to sing along and goes, sleepy boy. Yeah, look at all my Amazon boxes. I know, crazy, right? Maybe I should just do like a live stream, like a 24/7, like Kuma Cam. Just have the camera on him. Oh, let me show you. Well, I was going to do another video, but they've gotten too big. If you've seen my previous videos of like my hot chick cams, I was going to do one. Um, it's called "How to Handle Foreign Chicks," and let me just show you the foreign chicks. You can probably hear them. Let me see if they'll interact. Come on. You hungry? Here, let's do this one. Actually, they do, but right now we're actually building a chicken coop for them. So they're getting pretty big. We actually got them when we first got them. They're the size of my palm. Like the food I have here, they're that small. Yeah. Yeah, I could tell that they're not shy. They're not like scurrying away. You're not eating the food. Come on, eat the food. Yeah? Yeah. I had a choice of different ones to get. And I like these because they looked very fuzzy and very friendly. And they're unique. They're not like your typical, just white chicken kind of thing. They're like, and one chicken. Yeah. These these are going to be egg layers. They're not meat chicken, so I'm not going to do. Hey. You want to look? You want to play with the camera? You want to play with the camera? Bruce. Yeah, come on. Look, it's funny. They like eating out of my hand because there's obviously food under, and there's even food here. But they prefer to eat out of my hand. I don't know. There's water back there too. What are you doing eating that? Hmm? Hmm? What? Yeah, I know. Come on, what are you doing? What are you looking at? Dogs can be just as gross. Eating all kinds of things. Hmm? What? Oh, jealous. Yeah, so I was going to make a video called "How to Handle Foreign Chicks" because these are like not like local to the area. Yeah, I have other like my other videos. Like one was the "How Chicks Cam," and the other one was like "How to Pick Up Chicks." You should actually check it out. I actually made a little kind of a cute video about it. Do you have? Does your cat like always like make noises like whenever they're hungry, like looking at you begging for food? Oh, cool. Thanks. By the way, my goal right now for my channel is try to get up to 10,000 subscribers. I know, a very lofty uh, worry noise. 10,000 subscribers, and I want to actually try to get monetized, so I need more view hours. So, yeah, I'm not monetized yet. I don't care about the money. I'm actually trying to get super chat because I like the whole people get on chat and be able to do like emojis and weird sounds so they can promote their names and have them in limelight. Because for a while there, I was doing like a subscriber Sunday thing where I would take like a random subscriber and showcase their channel. Just show their latest video and kind of support other YouTubers. And it'd be great if they could like go on like super chat and then be like just showcase them that way. All right, this is getting kind of tedious. Gosh, itchy. What are you doing over there? No, you have to be monetized before you get super chat. That's and I have all these plans for emojis and stickers. Yeah, exactly. I mean, not that I'm looking to try to make like super amounts of money, but you know, it's true. Like when did you that latest video of Nathan talking about that and like how people just expect free videos? It takes money to make videos. It's a combination of a lot of time editing, and what a lot of people don't know is if you use Adobe Premiere, you have to pay like a subscription fee just to use the software. And so you make cranking out all these videos. Yeah, I mean, I do have pay I do have a PayPal and Patreon. That's the only way I could. This food's getting kind of low. And I wish I could just post a link, but yeah, super chat is a lot easier because I could just, people could just donate directly instead. Because Patreon is cool and all, but you have to click on it and register, and even PayPal is the same thing. You have to go in there, and a lot of people are just like, I just want to do it on the spot, and I get that. Yeah. Look at that. Go get. Fuzzy. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you up. I give a specific amount a month. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. That's very generous of you to be. I mean, anyone that donates. I mean, I know it's very cliche that people are like, oh yeah, they you know, a lot. Now I know that a lot of YouTubers are sincere, but you have someone like Mr. Beast who like just kind of says it. Yeah, and you know what? It really is appreciated because I actually looked at some of Nathan's older videos, and he does take a lot of money that goes into his channel. He just redirects it back into production, film, paying people. Yeah, Mr. Beast annoys me because he gets sponsored, and when he gets sponsored, he gets all this money and he distributes it out, and he's acting like this big shot when he really isn't. He's just he got his popularity by distributing money given to him by somebody else, and it's like somebody else posted a fake YouTuber millionaires, and I think he kind of falls into that. Yeah, that actually kind of reminds me of the whole Team 10 with Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and yeah, I call them out too. I even did a video of Shane Dawson once. Not a negative one. It's just more of the Tanacon thing that happened a while back. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, well, the thing with Mr. Beast is why he has so many subs, which I think that's a little outrageous. It's just because of money. Every time people watch his videos, he's like, "Ooh, he's going to be giving away money," and he does for the most part. But that's what he's known for. Yeah, there's a guy on TikTok that I actually appreciate. He uh, he donates to random people, like random TikTokers that post things because he wants to give back. And I'm like, that's really cool. He's not obligated. Uh oh. Cat stuck. I wonder if the cat will react to the cheeps of the birds and put the phone and maybe like go crazy on it. I never played my harmonica with these guys, so I don't know if they will. Oh, girls, I should say. Yeah, yeah. You're on YouTube. Yeah, you're on YouTube. Yeah. Should I poke at the camera? Yep, trying to poke at the camera. They know. Yeah. Yeah. Like Happy 4th of July with dogs and chicks. Yeah, try something. I'm gonna reverse the camera. All right. Let's just see if they wreck themselves. Yeah. I got a messenger. Okay. Yeah, they as soon as I turned the camera around, they like immediately went to it. I guess they are attention hogs. They like being on TV, right? Like being on TV. Which messenger? Like Facebook Messenger or which? Oh, you mean like YouTube? I mean, you could do. I mean, you're on chat, so I'm not sure which messenger you're. Yeah, what's? Yeah, my Facebook is actually in. Well, it's not in this description because I haven't actually updated the description. But if you look at my previous videos, especially when they have like my gear, my camera, I have my Facebook account on there. So yeah, you can add me on there if you want. I'll give you 3 guesses what my Facebook account name is, and the first 2 don't count. Yeah, I pretty much use Raxian practically everywhere. Um, yes, it's even on MySpace, believe it or not, LiveJournal, even AOL. I actually created Chicken Man. I don't want to be known for that, but I guess for now that's okay. Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Hey. MySpace. Whoa. It's funny because it grew from like LiveJournal to MySpace to Facebook, which I regretted, to now everywhere. I even have a DLive account, which I've only used like maybe used once or twice. DLive is weird. PewDiePie really got into it, and he started really showcasing it, and it's crypto based, unlike monetary based, which is like YouTube. It's a very strange thing. Huh. Hold on a second. Hey, what you doing? Come on, what are you doing? Probably some bug. Chasing after some bug. See, knock over your food. Yeah, that's for sure. For some odd reason, MySpace brought out a lot of the weird, I guess because you have a profile picture and everyone wants, you can talk to them and you see when you're online, so get a lot of weird. Okay. Here, eat. Yeah. Anyways, enough of you girls. Enjoy your foods. Whoops. And believe it or not, with all the fireworks that were going on outside, they weren't scared. Dog wasn't scared. I've well, we're always just a little too old. When it comes to things, I never look at, no, am I too old for things? I mean, I still play video games. I still do things. I guess I don't think I'm too old for things. I'm just too, not bored, but I'd rather focus my time and energy on different things. Like I try things and experiment with things, but like, my actually one of the chats I use. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. It's called Powwow. It was an older one. It was basically like a chat. It's called Powwow. Oh, It's basically like an instant messenger, but it was also a chat room, combination chat room instant messenger, where you could go into different rooms and meet and talk about things and play games. And they actually had their own little game section. I think it technically still exists. Yeah, it was an older. It was between. It was after AOL, right around when LiveJournal was popular and MySpace was just starting. Powwow was actually very established. I forget even how I found out about it, but it was during that time where games like The Realm and EverQuest and a lot of MMOs were just starting, but before World of Warcraft. So it was kind of like in that era. Oh yeah, and oh yeah, gotta be careful. I can't have that showing up here. But I just recently downloaded or re-downloaded a game called The Realm, which is an older side-scrolling MMO. Just for nostalgia, I've played it like once or twice. But I've kind of realized that older games, it's great, it's fun, like especially Ultima 4 or Wasteland. But there's a reason why they're old. They're long. They take a long time to play. And they're very buggy. So I played for maybe like a couple minutes and realized, like, yeah, I got better things to do. Netscape Navigator. Yeah, that's actually, yes. Netscape did have its own login. I remember that. You logged in, you somehow logged in with an account, and then it came with a free navigator. It's like Netscape Navigator, Netscape something else. I forget what it was, but it was like a whole package thing, and then you get a browser with it that had all these quote unquote cool features. I can't remember what it was during. It was after when Mosaic, I think Mosaic was actually one of the first web crawlers or browsers that came out to be. Before that, there is the ARPANET search tool, but that was a military university thing. That was when it was pre HTTP. It was more like yeah. Oh yeah. I used to actually use modems for BBS's bulletin board services. I actually had one out there a while back called a White Castle. It was a BBS that had like a news forum, games, like text games, and chat. It just it disappeared. I did use a military modem at school. Well, that's cool. So you probably had the faster modems. I mean, I had a 300 baud, and then I upgraded to 2400 baud. And I remember there was the 36 or the 33.6K, but I never got that. York University. Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. So it sounds like we had a lot of the same kind of pseudo experiences growing up as kids at the time. That's kind of cool. Did you guys actually this big question? Did you guys have a yeah, 56K. Yeah, when 56K was considered like top-notch speed. If you had that, that was considered golden. And then they had the T1s, and the ISDNs. After that, like they had the 128K ISDNs, T1s, and then at that point was when it just became just full-blown internet. But yeah, did you guys have Saturday morning cartoons in Canada? Yeah. Yeah, fiber optic really pretty much broke the wall when it came to fast internet and faster speeds. You did? Cool. I used to be all over Saturday morning cartoons. I used to watch them all the time. Let's see if I can remember. You know, the 2 minute reviews, I may actually do that with the Saturday morning cartoons. May have a special like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Snorks, Fraggle Rock, Great Space Coaster, What was that musical one? I can't forget where this rock band winds up in a cartoon world. I had it. Uh, can't remember. Yeah, 4 p.m. after school, after school special and after school shows. I think we have the same. I think we have the same stuff. Because I used to live in New York. We had a lot of the same. Yeah. You have a better memory with that than me. I can't remember where I was, but I used to love Fraggle Rock. I always wondered with that show, like I know it's silly, but I always wondered how could those two universes coexist. So you have like the outside world on the one side, and then you have the Fraggle world, and then you have this house. Then you have like the dozers, and then and then even beyond that is like another world, and it's just I was the concept kind of always confused me. Like there must have been like some sort of wormhole on the other side of the house, and you always wind up in that other world. A boober doll. Oh, actually, I had one of my videos. I went to like an old '80s arcade, and that actually kind of reminded me in an indirect way of playing like Tron and Cubert. I was a Cubert fanatic when it was out, as well as Space Ace and Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair? Yeah, Dragon's Lair. Old school games, old school arcade games. Then Mortal Kombat came out, and then PvP became a thing, and then it just took off from there. Right now, the only games I play, I still have to finish Fallout 4. I haven't touched that in a while. Played a little Terraria. Not sure if you heard of that. Terraria is kind of like more of like a side scroller Minecraft kind of thing. Yes, I did try Fortnite and Cubert. I spent so much money. Yeah, same here. When I was a kid, on my dad would take me out to the mall, and basically he'd give me like $5 or $10 and say, "Hey, go play with the arcade," and he would do his shopping, and I'd play in the arcade. Yeah, great father son time, right? And so I used to just go around and play all the games, gauntlets, racing, you name it. I've played Tempest. I was really good at Tempest. I actually had at one point I had like 25 people watching me play. It was kind of weird. And I think Dark Star was a game I play a lot. Never saw Polybus. I always try to remember if I ever played Polybus, but you know the whole fake Polybus thing that was talked about. Yeah. Although I did play some pretty weird, obscure games. Huh. Like New York City or just anywhere in New York? Huh. For all you to know, we could have potentially even met at one point. Stranger things have happened. I mean, if you would, I mean, because I did go to the city a lot, even when I was a kid. Getting $10 American. Cool. Actually, the only thing I remember in New York was my cousin who was much older. I was like 10 or something like that, and we went to yeah. This was in Manhattan. It was a chocolate cheese restaurant. It was a fondue place, but all they served was chocolate and cheese, and I thought that was such a strange thing. But I remember, and I actually, you would take this, I forget what it was, but you had these two dips. It was like one was chocolate and one was cheese, and it was like liquid, it was like hot. And I remember dipping it in both and eating a chocolate cheese thing. And you don't think it would work, but it tasted fantastic. It kind of was like very similar to if you ever eaten like French fries with like a frosty or a milkshake, it was that kind of strange but exhilarating kind of taste. It had that kind of taste to it. Yeah, chocolate and cheese. Who would have known? But yeah, New York was strange as a kid. Well, actually, New York City was strange even when I got older. We eat the Russian restaurant. Russian restaurant. Wow, man. Does it still exist, or is it? Because I know a lot of places come and go in New York City. Oh, I know Sardi's. I know that still exists. That's a celebrity hangout. A lot of celebrities go to Sardi's. I remember going there a couple times, and also that biker bar, that famous mountain. I forget the name of it, but Coyote Ugly was based on that bar in like a hole in the wall southwestern New York. Yeah, Sardi's is a kind of, I won't say generic. It's kind of like an Italianish restaurant in the middle of Manhattan. Um, yeah, it was okay. I mean, the food was okay, at least when I went. Tea Room, okay. Wow, I never been there. Oh, what was that other place? I remember there was a bar restaurant I was kind of curious about called The Vault. I always wanted to check it out just because the sheer curiosity of it. But I remember going in the city, and by the time I actually got there, it was like it no longer existed. It got shut down, bought out, and reopened up to something completely different. So I was like, okay. I do remember this one. It was like a goth club. Um, it was really cool though. It had three floors, and each floor played different music. It would be like one would be like industrial, one would be like trance, ambient, and one would be like goth. And like each floor we had a different sound. You go up and down, and even like the floors, the stages, and such. Like each had like a completely different style with colors. One was like red with like all these pillows and cushions you could sit around. The other one was like black with yellow with like a dance floor. The other one was like a neon blue. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. I remember this one guy, typical goth look. He must have been like 7 foot tall, thin as a string bean, pale white, black hair, total trench coat, the total goth look. But he was like super tall, and he looked so foreign. I can't say he looked out of place because it was a goth club, so he fit in. But even there, he looked kind of like, "Whoa, who is this guy?" He really stuck out. Um, but then also that was in the place I wanted to go back, and like maybe a couple months later, it disappeared. That's the only thing I was about New York City was kind of bad. You can have some really cool places that would just close down, you know, quick. Expensive rents, bad location, could be a million and one things. Yeah. That's actually, I used to go down to New York City a lot because like Nathan, actually, always interested in movies and filming and acting. But unlike, I don't live out in California. I'm not near Burbank or studios. Yes, New York City has auditions, but they have auditions for like soap operas and TV shows, and um, it's very difficult. I actually tried doing auditions down there, but it's very, very competitive. Um, Talent agents are, if you ever seen like a stereotype of a talent agent like on TV and movies, they're like that for real. It was really weird. With thick New York accent, with a cigar, with a shot of whiskey, with all these papers on desk. I mean, if I didn't experience it myself, it's like goth bars in Toronto. You know what? I've always wanted to go to like a club or bar or a rave like in Europe. Yep, bad suits, tie all misshaven, even gold chain, the hair and the chest, the whole thing, the whole stereotype down to like the accent and everything. It's like I thought I was actually on a set of a movie, but yeah, a, a guy recommended, like he said, hey, a guy was an actor. He was a method actor. They got all these bit parts as like plumbers and chefs, smaller roles, but he was legit. Said, "Hey, check out this guy going in the city. Sam, tell him I sent you." And when I walked in the office, he was on the phone. He said, "Yeah, yeah, go read it." Guys I used to beat up in high school. Yeah, probably. And I remember I auditioned for this role. He said, "Okay, read the script." But he was on the phone. He didn't even look at me. He says, "Yeah, yeah, go read it." And I read it, and I think I did a good job. He took a little note, and he said, "Okay, next," and that was it. Obviously, I didn't get it because he didn't stop, look over. It's like, okay. But I actually did listen to film. I was a stand-in and a extra for this weird movie called Niagara. It's about a guy and a girl with like Tourette's, and it's some weird combination. Um, yeah, nice guy. You've seen it. It's supposed to be based in Canada, but they actually filmed in New York. And I remember I had to swap out my car because my car is even in it. Yeah, and they actually had to put Canadian license plate on my car for a scene where I had to drive down the road, and I do it like 4 or 5 times. Like a cop was like behind me. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that you would know it. Yeah, it was Robin Tunney and what's his name, the kid Elliot from ET. They were actually very shy in person, very quiet. I remember them going to the bar. I hardly said like 3 words when they weren't filming. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good movie. So if you look carefully, now I didn't have a beard and mustache, and so you may see me. If you see a red car, like a red Toyota, that's me. And there's a couple times where they're being like walked out in handcuffs out of a mall. I'm in the background a couple times, and I did a stand-in. I like some indie movies. It depends. It really depends. There's actually one I saw. Well, only part of it. It was actually at an anime convention. It was a pirate Nazi zombie ninja. It was like everything combined in one movie, and I think it was Korean based. And it was one of those quick action. You're gonna be like going like frame by frame, like click, click. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Yeah, that was actually fun doing that. I got cash in an envelope for the day, free meals. To say here, all the meals were comped, and just spend all day on set talking to director, producer. You missed something. That was fun, and that actually what got me into wanting to do more film. And I did a couple things. I did a college film called Sleuths. I was actually a cameraman for college campus TV. I did a radio DJ, WFRS 5:30 a.m. all the way to the left in the armpit of school name here. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, so I had the illustrious radio station of 5:30 a.m. frequency radio that, and it was like a Christian radio station that I think maybe one person heard in a week. Cool. Yeah. What plays did you do? I did theater. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because in college, I took a history class and the teacher was doing this like reading off a script, like an impromptu script, and he kept on pulling me off, like, "Hey, do this line, do this line, do this line." And he actually recommended me to the theater department, the college theater department. Said, "Yeah, this guy is good," but I didn't have time. I just too busy. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Well, that's actually kind of why I like YouTube. Although I don't have scripts, though some of the stuff I've done is scripted, but it's an outlet that's, I can't do feature films. I could try Sundance, but at least I could do YouTube stuff. And just like Nathan says, like, yeah, you better believe that you got a feature film that you do that versus YouTube. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay. Oh, wait, what was that? I just remembered something. Film. That's right. I shot a microfilm, which is like a 2 to 3 minute mini movie. Um, I haven't gotten into the pieces together. I need to edit a little bit. It was difficult. Hopefully, it'll be interesting. Shakespeare is tough. especially if you're trying to do authentic with the like the vernacular at the time. It is fun. Actually, the one play I actually two plays I did. One was called The Butler Did It, where I played myself and my twin brother, which was interesting, and an old TV show called The Odd Couple. I was played Vinny, one of the poker players, and one thing I learned about acting, especially when you have to eat and drink, be very careful and be very sparse when you do it because we had to do five plays, and each time you played, you had to eat and drink. And by the third time, I was full. By the fifth time, I was like, I can't do this anymore. What type of accent do you have? Canadian or Southern or kind of a hodgepodge of various? I'm from New York, but people say I sound like I'm from like Ohio. I don't have a New York accent, although I could make one. I can make myself sound like a New Yorker. Not supposed to really. Yeah, you're supposed to fake it, but this was a play. This isn't like film, so people like right. So you had to eat a little bit. I was probably like this far from my probably like the closest audience member, maybe. So yeah, it was like chips, pretzels, and like a soda. So I was careful. I sipped the soda, which was smart. The chips and the pretzels, like the first one, I stuffed to myself. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. British people, so it's weird. Okay, I got my English from. I got my English. You could tell I didn't learn in my English. I got my English from school with a K. I speak it English. Yeah. I know, New Yorker without a New York accent. Although apparently people have told me that every once in a while it ekes out, but not like a New York Walker, like on Long Island or anything like that. And I don't have a Southern drawl, like a Southerner drawl, but I sometimes have say yeehaw and make all sorts of twangs in the way I speak. Not really. Yeah, I it wasn't just you. I like had just got like completely I just moved so I could be like right by my Wi-Fi hotspot, and it just like YouTube just said nope. So it wasn't my internet because my internet's been solid. I think YouTube periodically pickups. That's the only problem with live streams. It's really whoa, look at that light. It's kind of weird. Looks like a UFO. Yeah. So I'm not sure. But I guess I could probably call in case it will stop acting because I know like once it starts acting up, it has a tendency to do it more and more. So, but hey, man, it was awesome talking to you. I don't really get a chance to talk much on my live streams. But yeah, if you ever see my my synthwave, I was thinking of possibly doing like a uh, another like music live stream called Intensity, and it's going to be what do you call like robot trance, death trance, and death rock. No, well, you lost your signal too. I lost my signal as well. Maybe you know what? I don't think it was me then because my internet hasn't been an issue. I think it was YouTube. I think YouTube kicked us off. Must be something going on with YouTube. But what's it like? It's like death trance. It's not death rock. It's death trance. Witch house. Um, it's I'll just create a long track. Now, if you watch my synth wave and my relax wave, YouTube does not like it at all because every time I do a live stream, sometimes it's not immediate, but sometimes it kicks me off and I get blocked worldwide or countrywide because of copyright. Because even when I have permissions and all the links, it just automatically says, "Oh, you don't." Yeah, it's because I had a couple. There's a DJ called Beer Thug and BTSM, and I actually made a video with them. Had their permission, even have the Twitter saying, "Yeah, go ahead, use it." By the artists themselves saying, "Go ahead, you're good." But and BTSM, the actual band members saying, "Hey, go ahead, use our content. Just give us a link and you're good." YouTube still did a copyright thing, but I reneged on it and said, "Hey, no, I got permission from it," and they made it available, but there's still a copyright on it. So I don't care about that because I'm not monetized yet, anyways. But for the future, when I do get monetized, some of the stuff, like that is fine. I give them full credit. It's their music. I'm all for it. But stuff that I make, you know, so yeah, every time I do a live stream, it's like if you ever notice on some of Dad's live streams, yeah, it's not a copyright strike, but it's a copyright flag. Yeah, Heathens. That one, that song got me clicked on it, and you could tell because even with like Dad's live stream, if you notice, if he's playing a lot of music and you get like some like dead air where you don't hear anything for like a minute or two, it's because he had a copyright issue and he had to block that timepiece out. He had to go in and say, remove that track. I did participate in that whole that hiding thing that Dad had on his channel, but knowing YouTube, he didn't select approve all comments because if you approve all comments, he would have to go through and select each one and actually approve each one, which he wouldn't do. But he can have a selected where he gets notified of all comments. And that could show, so he could just have a page up and just see all the comments. So it's hard, it's almost impossible to hide unless he wanted to not specifically. Yeah, did you find me? So he could, I knew what he did because as soon as he started doing that, he had like a separate window and he just had like boom, 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 like someone comments, and you go through and just heart each one. And he probably said, "Oh, this guy did a good job," because I made one. He actually found it. I made one that was in binary, and he actually got it. So he had to know that that was what it was because I actually put, "Can you like?" I'm like, I forget what it was, like, "Are you fine?" or "Can't find me," or "I'm hidden." But it was spelled out in binary, and he found it. I was like, okay, I was impressed. But I wish he could go through my channel because he'd be very surprised at some of the stuff that if he was careful, he might see. And I was actually thinking of doing a kind of like a similar thing like Nexpo. Same thing on your Instagram with copyright or just did you find me thing? Oh, I should eat this. I'll have to eat it later. Yeah, I tend to stay away. I mean, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on TikTok, but I only do it because of some of my friends are on there. It just Instagram kind of irks me because when I go there and I go up into like the main page, I see all these, lack for better terms, cam girls showing up on the page. You just, all these like Instagram models. I'm like, yeah, really? Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, even like in YouTube, when your channel gets big enough, it's great being able to talk to you on here. And I love that about YouTube. And I know that if things start getting crazy and start getting bigger and bigger, that chat will scroll. Like there's no way I'd be able to keep up. I've seen dash chats. I've seen like there's a guy I watch called Trainer Tips for Pokemon Go stuff, and I've seen his chat, and it's like bloop 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 bloop. Like, there's no way I could read all that. And I could see why, even with that, like he only responds mostly to super chat donations because it comes out as like boom. So yeah, you respond to that. But the normal chat, unless it's a slow night, it's hard. That's why whenever I say something or ask them a question, I just wait and try it again, maybe 2 or 3 times, but not like real quick because I know it's easy to just. I don't get upset about it because a lot of people are like, why doesn't he respond to me? Like, dude, you post a question and it's there for half a second. You can't read all that. You know, I do like how he joined the Beard Club though. Are you sure you want all those people? Just get notifications for like the people you want. I do like got you. Uh, well, yes, I would like to have my channel go crazy because people like you and there's a few others that are like some big subscribers make you mods, make you like a super chat or whatever, give you ranks and such, so that whenever I see you, like, oh, so and so will pop up. Because I think this way, I love to increase my family, but I know that eventually my channel will get big enough where not every single person will be a family member. So it'll weed out the trolls and the occasional viewers. And I don't want to like discriminate and say, hey, you can't be in the channel. But I know like one hit wonders. They come in, they say hi, they may give a donation or may give a spiel and then just dump out, or So it kind of the faster pace will actually force people that really want to stick around to stick around. Yeah, I could just imagine having this like a 12-hour or 24-hour video where you just have the phone here and sleeping and suddenly you bling. What? Oh yeah, donation. Have you ever heard of Ice Poseidon on Twitch? I actually watched some of his stuff more so for just research and how he got like swatted either purposefully or indirectly. Yeah, ping, ping, ping. So and so subscribed to your channel. So and so donated. So and so is a super subscriber, especially if it hits like every 5 times. Personally, I would enjoy that. Again, probably initially I think, oh man, that's so cool. And after a while, I'll be like, yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, I actually tried Twitch and I can understand some of it because it's a little more lenient when it comes to like in real life stuff or streaming, because Twitch is like has game where you stream your game and then everything else. Whereas YouTube has kind of gotten like, like kids, music, relevant contact, trending. The algorithm has all these little sub compartments that throws only things. That's why certain people are suddenly trending, and that's why PewDiePie will never be trending because of the way his videos are. It's weird. Yeah, I agree with you with that. They Twitch moderators seem to hold a lot of favoritism. In fact, let's actually relate to Ice Poseidon. He was on Twitch, and that was his bread and butter. He got swatted a lot. Then he had a lot of flack from some of his other people. He used to do like a lot of in real life live stream. He actually got money for it, but then he got off of Twitch, and I think he even got soft banned or something. So somebody didn't like what he did, and you're right. There's something sketchy going on with Twitch, and I tried a little bit, but I just can't get in there because when I've tried to upload things, it felt weird. I won't say it felt wrong, but it felt like I was going down the wrong path. Like, sure, I could probably stream games on Twitch, but you know, it's just maybe when if I hit like 100,000 subscribers, maybe I'll do like a duo thing. Like, okay, I do YouTube, then maybe I'll do YouTube with like Trainer Tips he plays Pokemon Go, but then he has like his Twitch thing and he starts that while he's playing. Like, maybe, but I've tried D Live, but D Live's a little weird. It's a little complicated. Yeah, but that's true. I don't have long curly blonde hair, or tight curves or you're right about that. It's very, very heavily leaning towards that. Um, I bring all the milkshake to the boys in the yard. It's working. It was like the Harlem Shake. Yeah. I wonder about that because this is one girl that's trending on YouTube, and she started in 2017, so I don't feel okay, she started in 2017. That's respectable. Anyone that starts before 2019, I say that's respectable. Like if you get your channel up, good for you. It was like 100, 200, 300 subscribers, then 1,000, but then within like a couple months, it went from 10, 20, 50, 100 to like 200,000 subscribers. And she somehow got into the trending path because I've seen a couple of her videos show up in the trending and recommend them. Like the algorithm favored her. The algorithm saw her and blessed her with her, the trending one, and now she's blowing up. I've yeah, I wonder because initially when I first started, when I first started this channel, it wasn't anything. But then when I started getting into it, I started doing a lot of Pokemon Go stuff. And a lot of the content I was doing was on par with like Mystic 7, Trainer Tips, Pokemon Go Holly, and those people. Yeah, that's what possibly. Now, I won't disparage Pokemon Go Holly because she puts a lot of work in her content, but I know, at least I would bet serious money that the reason why she blew up a lot was because one, she was in league with a lot of other big YouTubers, but also her looks and personality kind of shown out. And like Mystic 7 has like 1 million plus now. I've made videos that's on par content wise Pokemon Go, but it was like I can't compete with these guys, and I'm in delving in pools that's established, so I kind of had to break away a little bit. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure, she has colored hair, she plays the game, and she does a lot of live streams, but I really wonder about how some people like it's kind of funny with dad. We're too old. Well, there is something. Well, no, I mean Nathan's not but Nathan looks young. He may be older, but he has that kind of besides the whole dad bod thing, he actually looks. He has a good combination of a lot of pratfalls. Yeah, I think maybe. It's kind of funny, like how he does like a lot of Nexpo things. Speaking of dad, I actually found out about dad through Nexpo, believe it or not. I was actually watching a lot of Nexpo stuff. Then I saw that whole "What is this dad channel" thing. Like, well, let me check it out. And Nexpo hasn't really done much since I saw that. I was like, hmm. Then the whole Inside of Minds and yeah. Well, have you thought about doing more YouTube or try? Who knows? Maybe you can do something big. I know, like you can make money doing just ad revenue. Everybody that's makes serious money off of YouTube. If you look, I this is a guy. He actually has a really good channel called Roberto Blake, and he's an entrepreneur. He does YouTube, but he does a lot of video like instructional videos on how to improve quality content, how to increase your traffic. Very statistics, very business oriented view towards YouTube, but self business as well. And he even mentions like you need to not just rely on ad revenue. You need to have your Patreon, start your side business, do your merchandise. Have to create a character. Well, you could. I mean, my character is Raxian, and it's my personality off camera when it comes to here is similar, but there's a lot that I don't share on here that's related to my personality. Like when I'm off camera, I do a lot of things that obviously I won't mention, but like as the channel is going to change, and it's going to change slightly, my character is going to go down a certain path. It's going to really blur the line of reality and fantasy because, well, researching artificial intelligence, you're forced to do that because artificial intelligence is in the cyber world. It's on servers, networks, code, but it's developed from there. So, oh, well, yeah, I don't even talk about family members and people that personally know me. I mean, some know that I do YouTube, some don't. Some are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, trying to explain it to them is like, you know, it is weird. Uh, yeah, sure. Hey, anything you do to help, if it's either views, subscribers, views, that would be great. That's the one thing I actually am trying to do is to, in order for you to get monetized or to at least get super chat, you need 1,000 subscribers. Pain in the I almost said something I would have got it. Pain in the patuka, and get 4,000 view hours, and that's my little nitpick problem is getting those 4,000 view hours, which means, and I can't watch it all myself. I have to have a unique quality traffic to view my videos, and I have to have 4,000 hours worth of unique. So I couldn't have like a computer watch it 24/7 because there'll be cutoff points. That'd be awesome, man. If you can get like 4,000 people to watch like 1 hour, that'd be great. Like actually, one of my synthwave would be great because it's like 1 or 2 hours and it's just music. It's just I create a collaboration of like 80s synthwave music. If 4,000 people could just watch that one video and just listen to it, they may like it. That's done. Well, I tell you what, if I suddenly if I suddenly blow up after this video, if you want, I could do like a showcase video for you. I could advertise your Instagram and say, hey, check out, my favorite person on YouTube, and do that. Then maybe if I get big enough, I can do a gaming session with Dad, although not Fortnite. I played Fortnite and I had my one accolade, and I said, you know what? I'm done playing. I don't want to spend too much more time on it. But I will say I was actually able to do a headshot against Ninja on Fortnite, and that was actually the last time I played. It was many seasons ago. You know what? It's funny you mention that because I've been trying to get into the multicultural, different nations and different countries. Like I would love to get China, but that's impossible because they block YouTube. But I thought about Russia too because I actually had a lot of in college. I had a lot of Russian friends. In Virginia Beach, oddly enough, there's a small group of Ukrainian friends that it was weird. I actually hung out with a lot of lifeguards at the apartment complex, and they're all Russian and all like Russian Ukrainian. It was a very strange thing. But I actually went to a couple parties. Uh, I have Japan that speaks so many languages. Wow, I'm impressed. In fact, I would love to get in Japan. I actually went to Japan in my heyday of, and you may like the story. I'm sorry, I'm chewing your ear off, but I actually went on this Japanese anime. It was an anime culture tour called Pop Japan Travel. It, I don't think it even exists anymore, but it was fantastic. It was a 10-day trip where they had a fluent speaking Japanese tour guide from America show you all these different places. And I decided to take it one step forward. And I wish I was on YouTube when I did this. I mean, I was on, but wasn't doing it seriously. But I wish I recorded this. I did record some little snippets, but I actually went in cosplay to Harajuku, Japan as Sugoi. I actually went as, now, do you know Naruto? The anime Naruto? If you do, I went as Kakashi, Hatake Kakashi, full wig, everything. Actually, the one day we were going to Harajuku, I saved the cosplay for that one day, and we all went, and I had full outfit on, and it was funny. All these tourists, not American tourists, but I didn't even realize this, but non Harajuku people from other parts of the country um, came to visit as tourists into Harajuku from other parts of the country, and they all like were taking pictures of me. And I actually saw other cosplayers. I saw the top professional cosplayers show up in I think it was like Evangelion, Fate Stay Night, and there's one other that I did not recognize, but they had head to toe, full quality, detailed. I mean, if these people were making serious money doing cosplay, I would believe it. And they saw me and they're like, "Whoa!" And I had some pictures with them on the wall. Actually, one of the tourists came to take pictures of us, so I never got their information. So it's out there somewhere. And then right after that, I was still in cosplay. We went to a maid cafe. A American slash Japan TV journalist interviewed us from the whole tour, but also interviewed us separately. And we actually got on a magazine TV show in Japan. It was only Japan only. And then my I still have the magazine. I still have the ad. I was actually featured in Otaku USA magazine advertising Pop Japan Travel, and my Kakashi outfit was in there. Yeah, I know. It was, it was a combination of all these different things that worked out. We went up going to the Ghibli Museum when it was still open. Went to Sapporo. No, well, first, of course, we went to Roppongi. We went to the Namja town. We had the video games, and then the Gyoza market, the Sony building where they had all the TVs. Had the Harajuku obviously for fashion, and then after like 7 days, then we had another 3 days in Sapporo, which was it was cool. Like after like the rough of we had to walk a lot, so we had walked everywhere. Like 7 days just nonstop, and then we went to Sapporo where we kind of relaxed. We went to the ice festival, then a Sapporo town fish market area, and then I remember, yeah, and then the beer hall, Sapporo Beer Hall. So it was all you can eat and drink alcoholic drinks in Sapporo. They had beer, whiskey, wine, and a few other drinks. The taco isn't a good thing. Where's the Pikachu stuff sold now? That's a good question. I don't. They segmented that off. I think there's a separate thing now. It's not Pikachu anymore. It's a there's like it's weird. You have like Pokemon, then you have Pokemon Go, which is like a subset. Then you have the original Pocket Monster distribution center, which was the original, and then you have the studio that does all the animation and manga stuff for the show. So it's a weird like you can't just go to one thing anymore. It's branched out. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I just remembered. I went to had a tour of a manga studio. It was the same manga studio that did no, no. Um Samurai Champloo. Yeah, it was that manga studio, and I remember we had a tour and we walked through, and I felt bad. The main manga artists that do all these fantastic stuff, they were actually there working, and these I remember seeing these 3 or 4 girls curled up in a chair with blankets over them because they're taking a nap because they're working the whole day. I saw one girl who was halfway penciling this thing, and she was shivering, and and the guy was just walking through. So I saw like a shawl and just put on her. I felt so bad, but I heard her say something. I couldn't understand her, but I think it was like "thank you." Well, like man, they work hard. I mean, if they're sleeping curled up in a chair, they're working hard. So it really made me appreciate manga more so than just picking up a book and reading it. You know, people have asked me would I go back to Japan in a heartbeat. And actually, I would still want to do a tour. I enjoyed having other people around me that enjoyed it. Because if I just went to Japan alone, it'd be me running around doing all sorts of crazy stuff and just, bumping into people. But at least if I was with a tour, I would be with a bunch of people that like really like the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, man, Disney buys everything. It's just you're right. They work until it's done. And after seeing them, they're dedicated. It's their methodology is just, you know, yeah. Oh, I would definitely have to. One thing that was really cool about the tour group is I won't say it's like an instant family, but you stick with your tour group. It's like you're in a foreign country. You don't really know your way around, and at least you see someone like I went with this guy nicknamed Cowboy when I went to Harajuku. Is him also him and me and this one guy who just went and do his own thing. Isn't that always the truth? It's either you have the money or no time, or all the time and no money. But I would definitely. I wish Pop Japan Travel still existed because that man, that was a fantastic combination of people, food. You know, ate ramen at ramen bars, had a sweet sake. Just the whole experience was a lot of fun. Now, when I came back, they downgraded to, and then ICE took over, or not ICE, it was ICEA or something like that. And then it became just a generic Japanese tour bureau. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. It's just now it's just like a typical you go there and then you just go on a tour versus personalized. It felt really personalized. Wow. And I just realized I've been doing this for 2 hours. I go first class, but either no one to join me in no time. I've been on first class once. Um, well, when I went to Japan, it was Singapore Airlines, and they at least the airplane I went at, they didn't actually have a first class. It was just one big row. I was treated well, but I can't actually. Yeah, Singapore Airlines. I played Pokemon Gold for 8 hours straight, and I almost wish I could save the game and keep playing because I was at a really good point. But try first class everything. Wow, you love it. Well, if I tell you what, if my YouTube can blow up and start getting money rolling in, yeah. Well, 12 to 14 hour flights. It you can play out 8 hours in Pokemon. But hopefully this channel will get bigger, and then honestly, it would be nice to not doing what I'm doing now to try to make ends meet and have YouTube to focus full time on creating videos, editing, you know, making people laugh or at least enjoy themselves. That's what I really get out of it. No, right now I'm in Virginia, but I was in New York for a while. Um, I've been all over the place, but yeah, I got. It's funny when I left New York and suddenly seeing all my expenses go down, I was flabbergasted. Like, wait, my insurance is what now? I don't, it was a shocker. I was just so used to New York costing, I was expecting how, like, in my mind, realistically, I had to think, okay, I have to save up to 600, $800,000 to get like a small house. But I didn't realize the whole wide world of what existed out of New York taught me different things. Yeah, and it's getting even more expensive. I remember like about 5 to 10 years ago, the mayor said that he wanted to turn New York City into a millionaire city, and so he's raised all the tolls on the bridges. It hurt a lot of people, and it is expensive, very expensive. I knew a guy who would go down to New York City and blow his paycheck on bars and clubs and restaurants. Yeah. I mean, even parking alone, I mean, if you think it's expensive to park, just parking by the hour in New York City, if you don't know where to go, you might as well get a mortgage for that parking spot. It's because people don't drive, and people that drive, if you know, yeah. So it really a lot of people. Well, what's happening is a lot of people are migrating north. New York's like Westchester, which is right above New York City, is becoming like the new. I won't say ghetto New York, but it's kind of everyone is commuting now from Westchester to New York. But now Westchester is getting more expensive, so now they get going up even further into the Hudson Valley area, and then now that's become the Westchester, and Westchester's become like the soft New York City. And I'm not even going to talk about Newark, New Jersey. That's a whole other thing. We used to hire cars and drivers. Sounds like you have money. Fancy limos, drinking a Fresca and wine in the limo seats, in the back seats. I've actually, speaking of, I've only been in a limo once. I've always wanted to rent one. I I did. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I guess well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you can enjoy it just for a little bit, but it's work. It's not like it's a luxury thing. But I did when my best friend got married. I said, you know what? I'm going to rent a limo just because I never. It'd be a good experience for me. So I did get a limo ride once. Went to New York City. Actually, speaking of all things, we went to New York City. I did a three part bachelor party. First part was at his place to get like he liked hot wings and I liked hot wings, so just got everyone together, get hot wings, and I actually made T-shirts for the bachelor party. So we had like hot wings and beer and T-shirts, gave them to everybody, so they all wore it. That was like phase one. Phase two was we went to once we got everyone together, we all went played miniature golf. So that's the proverbial, you know, we can always back out at the last minute if you don't want to get married. So we played miniature golf for like a good hour. It's like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. This is it. Like, haha, this has just begun. So we all got in the limo, went to New York City, and went to this bar. I know, actually, first we went to a poetry reading theater bar for some of the people that didn't want to. Let's see, limo's nice. I've had a few of those, but they're hard to get in and out of. Yeah, this was just a regular. This was not like a Hummer or anything, or like one of those huge big truck limos. It's just a regular one, and they were kind of difficult. But I had to find okay for the people in the bachelor party. Well, yeah, but hear me out. I had to have something that was fun for everybody. So I had to have there was in the party there was a cop, a priest, his younger brother, um, and a guy that was like vegetarian. So I think, okay, I have to throw something for everybody. So for the priest and the vegetarian, they love the whole poetry, artsy kind of thing. The mini golf was for like the ex cop or the cop and the younger and the clubs. I actually found a club that was you can be younger to get in the door, but you had to get stamped for alcohol. So you couldn't just they didn't card on the outside, they card on the inside. Yeah, it does sound like a joke. It pretty much was like that, but I was actually able to hit all the bullet points so everybody had a good time. And unfortunately, I was the one that wound up drinking too much. So I won't get into that, but yeah. So and then actually it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or so. That bar closed. Now at that point, I was pretty much done. It's like, oh, we need to find another place. So the cop in the group said, hey, let me find something. So he went to a patrol car and it was like he actually found a late night place with good food and good drinks because he's a cop. He said, hey, we're looking for something. So it was a recommended place. So we went there for another 2 or 3 hours. Then the limo driver said, hey, like, do you want to go to a strip club? I'm like, no, we didn't want to do that. Yeah, exactly. But the limo driver actually recommended a limo restaurant. I didn't know that existed to get breakfast foods. So it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and we all went to this big restaurant limo place. And he was right. The food was fantastic. It was the one of the best breakfasts I ever had. And fortunately, it didn't last long with me, but everyone else had a good time. So we got back about like 9 or so, and I was smart. I planned the bachelor party 2 days before the wedding, not a day before the wedding, because a lot of people make that mistake and like they go into the wedding like hungover. And everyone said, you know what, that was great because they took the 1 day to recover. They hardly did anything, and when it came time to wedding, everyone was completely good. I still have the T-shirt. Cop says no, but I know where you can get some great Hawaiian pizza. Yeah, it's boy. Talking to you is like going back in nostalgia time, thinking about all these things that happened. Well, for all those that come into this video later on, there's a little snippet of my backstory that my real life backstory, not my character, is just something that happened in the past. So there you go. Yeah, that was a while ago. That was actually a lot of fun. You're being you, and I'm being well. Right now, I'm half me, half YouTuber. I tend to blend a lot, but I expect my channel going forward is when I mention that reality is going to blur between reality and what I'm investigating. It's going to be interesting. I've actually had some weird things happen in my channel lately, which uh, I have to start investigating within my own channel because I saw a couple comments coming from something that doesn't make any sense. And there's been some things interjected into my videos that I can't say anything because I'm still trying to figure it out. Because it's one of those things like I don't want to will a thing into action, but it's curious because I noticed that when I've uploaded some videos and then something else happened and something else got uploaded with it. I don't know what I'm doing being weird. Who says people are going to make sense? Well, you're in good company because if you were, I'd say weird people are the ones that are interesting because anybody could be boring. Are you sure people aren't trolling? Oh yeah, no, there's plenty of people that are trolling. I've seen a few. Actually, mostly people on my channel have been actually pretty good and pretty positive. But a couple things I've researched it and I've done into because I do a lot of computer stuff, and this is very peculiar. I won't get into details, but it's the more I look into it, the more it's raises a huge question mark, and it's intriguing. So as the closer, it's funny, the closer I start getting into like conspiracy theories and secret societies and all these things I'm going to be looking at, the more I've been getting some traction on this without it even starting. So it's kind of weird. I can still do DOS. Well, a comment from a place that doesn't exist. And it, hmm, it's weird. Like I've been putting some things in some videos to try to see if I can develop more interaction with these groups. But then I've also been noticing some other things. And one of my viewers actually saw something and commented, and I looked at it and like they found something. I don't know. It's still too early to tell. Like I'm still doing my research, so I have to do two research. I have to do research into the stuff that I'm going to be doing, and I have to do this on the side No, it's not erased. If you can find things, go ahead. Nothing's erased as far as I know. Maybe it has, but YouTube hasn't done anything with it. There's still some things that show up. And one is actually, it's weird. One pointed to my very original video, and something is pointing to something that I just made relatively recent. It's strange. Okay, cool. Well, take a look at my recent synth waves, uh, the video as well as the thumbnail, and see if you can find anything in the video as well as the thumbnail. I'll just leave that there and see if you can poke. I kind of wish like Dad would jump on here as well. Not this right live stream, but like on my channel, and see what he would think, because I think him and I are going to be we're starting to, we met for a reason, and I think we're going to be getting closer, and we're going to wind up, I have a feeling we're going to wind up doing stuff together, because I started looking at his whole dark party, this kind of thing, and I know a lot of what's really going on behind the scenes of his channel, but I also noticed something else that I'm not even sure if Nathan is aware of, which is kind of interesting, and it has to do with Nexpo and Nightmind. It's something else is there. Something else is nagging in the corner of my mind. There's something beyond the whole collab, um, you know, this like the stuff that he's doing with his that Nathan's doing with his friends that we all really know. It's either none of my business or should I invade someone's privacy? Name, state, situation. So it's one of those things where there's the legit collab stuff, then there's the stuff that he does with his friends, but there's something else that I saw that it's interesting. I do suspect there might be something, uh I won't say like a darker side of YouTube, but there's something else. I can always say like, oh, that's the reason why I haven't blown up. Nah, I can't say that. But I did see something. And it was, I don't know if you know the YouTuber or ex-YouTuber Etika. Have you ever seen him? He does like he's takedowns. Etika had he sometimes went into like the dark web and deep web, and he was always known for his like he very exaggerated responsive, like his facial responses and stuff. But then some relatively recently, he kind of went off the deep end. He barricaded himself in his apartment. Then he started calling people out. Then it's reported that he had a mental breakdown and he actually went crazy. And then he wound up committing suicide, and his channel got shut down. And I'm not going to say say that it actually happened or not. I mean, I assume it did, but there is something about the line of things from when he was doing that. Well, I don't know. I mean, the suicide was legit and all that, and he did die. At least it hit the news, because it hit the news in social media. Sensation Etika from YouTube was found, blah blah blah. So and that was like a news report. That wasn't like anything that was fabricated. So it definitely wasn't an ARG in that sense. But what led up to it was a little like, and people, what's I look at things when people don't say anything about it. When people say, "Oh, this is a conspiracy theory," like, okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But when something happens and people don't say anything at all, and then it quickly gets swept under the rug, that's when I take notice, because that's when I start thinking, okay, there's something really going on with this. If it's more, there might be something. Do you really want to know? Because it might. Well, that's the thing, and that's where things can get really hairy. Careful if you decide to research this. Careful, because I don't know. Only thing I know is he started going to a lot of deep web, dark web investigations Then there was nothing for a while. I mean, he did other things that obviously I didn't follow him, but then this happened. So just be wary. Um, yeah, I don't want you to do anything that will jeopardize you. So just hang out with me for a while. But you must be getting tired. I'm not so well. I am. I'm concerned about you. You know, I don't want my new YouTuber friend to suddenly. I mean, wouldn't that be something? Hey, join my channel and then disappear the next day. Second in command in Ontario. Still, I mean, I just, well, some of these secret societies, that alleged secret societies, I'll say that, um, seem to be bigger than nations. So that's why I just say careful, because they're bigger than global, apparently. It's funny. When I mentioned this 10 years ago to people were like, who are they? What are they? Yeah, they're like, what's this? And then 5 years ago, when I mentioned these groups, people roll their eyes like, yeah, whatever. But now when I've mentioned it, people stay silent and start typing, looking for things, just looking around. But yeah, no, cults, yeah, cults are a dime a dozen everywhere. But yeah, as I'm starting to get tired. You've outlasted me. You were the one who said it was going to be tired, and I'm starting to get tired. Actually, I want to do a late night donut run. Don't tell anybody. I want to do a donut run. I've been very good health wise, like eating healthy and such. But this is my weekend now, and yeah, so I want to try to take advantage of it. Us late night is blah. Can't even speak now. Us late nighters have to take advantage where we can. Days in a row. Do you? Oof, ouch. That's rough. Do you do like 12-hour shifts or? Okay, good. Yeah, how long is your shift or your work period? Do you do like a 12-hour session, or do you? Yeah, because I got like this diet that I'm going through. It's kind of rough. Yikes! That like 15 to 22 hours in a row. Wow. How many days do you? Hopefully, you get days off though. I mean, that's rough. But I guess for the work you do, it's very important. It's vital. So hopefully, 10 days on, three if or three off. That's rough. Is it just because is it because it's just whoa 15? Uh, I got the cure for that somewhere here. 7 on, 2 off. Jeez. Is it because you need like you have lack of like resources to be able to do work, or is it just because just there's just so much you have to do? 'Cause I know like I'm in a position where we need more people, um, but this sounds like you need much more people. Oh, it's because of the type of position. Does it pay well? Well, hopefully, it pays decent. I mean, it seems like from what you described it. Actually, I don't even know what the exchange rate is between Canadian currency and the U.S. dollar. I know it's always close, but I don't know. Well, I mean, I hope you enjoy it. That's a lot of hours. That's a lot of work. But in the hindsight, it keeps you from getting into trouble. Yeah. At least simple say 82 cents. Okay. That's pretty good. I remember it was like the Japanese yen was like 10 to 1. Perfect way of putting it. Interesting. That's the word I say when I can't really describe anything. It's like, yeah, it's interesting. It's non-committal. It can mean anything, and it ends the conversation relatively. I mean, sometimes you get the occasional, "Oh, how interesting is it?" And I'll say it's not that interesting, and they're like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, that's a perfect answer. You're always in trouble. Well, there's actually some good things about being second because the top person is always the one that is always like the pin cushion. They always get the pricks and the hits and such. At least you can not like you can go like fly under the radar, but at least you can be like, well, at least I'm not that guy. The closest I ever gotten to, which I won't mention companies or anything like that, was actually CIO for a company for a while. But I left for various reasons, and I had to leave. Not like I was forced to leave, but I had to leave just for my own. Like I couldn't stay there. CEO, Chief Executive. I was CIO, Chief Information Officer. There's also COO, which is Chief Operational Officer, and then there's someone that had like a CDO title once. It's like a Chief Developer Operations, and I was like, that's not a real role. Someone created that because they were actually going to leave, and they want to be felt important. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's CIO, Chief Information, everything technology oriented. My dad always said, always too smart for my own good. But hey, it's like, well, to be YouTube PG friendly, um, you say it's better to be a smart arse than a dumb arse, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, 10 years ago, I'd be able to say straight out, YouTube used to be a different world 10 years ago. Now, you have to be careful about everything, especially with this whole COPPA mandate that's going on. Like, it's annoying. But I did try, it's funny. That actually reminded me, back in the day when PewDiePie did his whole PewDiePie versus T series. Did you see that at all? I did this little thing. So you got to be worried about Coco Melon. You should be watching Coco Melon. And I actually streamed like a lot of people did, the subscriber count going up for like PewDiePie and T series. I put Coco Melon there. And now, just like I say, you should listen to me. He's making videos right now saying, "Oh, Coco Melon." He's even changed his icon. Like, dude, why didn't you check out? Why don't you go back to one of my older videos and say, "Yeah, this guy knew." Because just a few words from PewDiePie would shoot up my account. I know this because there's a guy that had like maybe 50 to 100 subscribers, and all he did was like small movie reviews. It's a little bit different. And as soon as PewDiePie mentioned him, just say, "Hey, this guy did movie review," he shot up from 100 subscribers to 100,000 in one day. He didn't even know how to get monetized. I said, "Dude, you need to do this, this, and this." And like, really? Like, yeah, you have 100,000 subscribers. You need to do this now before the trend starts going down. Uh, so yeah, Dr. Death. I don't know. I don't really care. I treat people the way I want to be treated. Yeah. So like, if PewDiePie were to say, "Hey, this guy did a stream and he knew that Coco Melon was going up there. Why didn't anybody tell me this? Hey, who's this Raxian guy?" Just him saying that, because I know this at least got to be at least 10,000 people that would be interested in just what I have to say, just for just doing this, let alone my other stuff, which I actually put a lot of work into a lot of my other videos. So I'm sure there's at least 10,000 people that are like, hey, this guy's actually got some pretty good stuff. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm just saying that with the billions of people out there, there's got to be at least 10,000 people like, you know what? Yeah, sure, why not? Or whatever. But yeah, PewDiePie is funny. I know there's a lot of people that kind of like why he kind of thing, but I know what he did. He got into videos. He got into YouTube when he was young, and I actually got into it when I was young as well, but I just didn't develop it. I think you should take some advice. Keep a camera handy. The triangle ship is around. Watch this, guys. You know what? I have been carrying around my camera more often, and I should film more. Who knows? Maybe Arcturians and plebeians will come by someday and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, yeah, I'm fully aware of the different quote unquote alien types and the different we'll see. I'll keep on this right now, but there's a lot of stuff out there for that. Yes, I think I'm going to grab my donut, maybe get a snack or something because I've been sitting here too long. Paranormal activities up since yeah. That Singapore clip, check that out because that's that happened right in the smack in the middle. It was COVID, then SpaceX. The day after SpaceX was that Singapore video. The day after that, all the media was directed away from that immediately into the whole Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe thing. And I think it was part of that. I mean, of course, that's all legitimate. But I think what happened was they saw a legitimate thing and they directed all the traffic that wasn't legitimate towards that, which is why it became an international thing overnight. Yeah, mine's at 19. I just plugged it in. So yeah, okay. I don't want you to burn your phone down, but you had to plug. Streaming takes up a lot of juice, but it's been fun talking. I really didn't expect to be on here so long. I was just, you know, yes, I really need a snack bad and a drink. By the way, there's a beer that I had. It's called Elysian. It's like Elysian Fields. It's Elysian. I forget what type it is, but it's a bit hoppy, but it's very good. So if you're into beer, worth a shot. It's a. Are you gonna research that? Do you want me to? I'll let you decide. I can if you want me to. I'll let you decide. I can erase it all if you want. Because right now it's just the two of us. Of course, unless the dream writes yes. So okay, so you want me to erase it? I'll have to go through. Okay, I'll erase these. Do you want me to erase everything or just the things where you mentioned like work stuff? Because I have to go through individually, go through each one, but I can if you want to. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely actually before you put it in chat, um okay. What you could do is leave a comment and then I could actually even better. I actually have my Facebook on there. So you can just look me up on Facebook and add me and then send me a message there. That way you don't have to post it anywhere. Yeah. So do it that way. That way it's so that YouTube doesn't get it. Just I have my Facebook on my descriptions and some of my videos. You can actually add me on Facebook and then send me a message that way. So it's not stuck on YouTube. Is that your Facebook? Yeah, I think that's probably the safest way. I'll tell you what. Okay. I'll right after before I go out and get a snack, I'll go through and the I'll erase this. Okay, I got you. I got you. I understand. Yeah, I'll get rid of it. Actually, I'll get rid of it right now. Let me see. Actually, I could probably do that while I'm on here. Okay. Well, you know what? Because my you could find me on Facebook. Just tag me there because I actually have two Facebooks. My Raxian is for my anime, manga conventions, YouTube. So you can send me a message there because my private Facebook is a completely different thing. So I actually planned that way ahead. I actually hardly even go on that other one because ever since Zuckerberg is Zuckerberg, I don't touch Facebook much anymore. Yeah, see, I'm smart. I can brain sometimes. Not always, but I can do it. That's why I say I can brain things. Hey, 2XL, let me get rid of you. All right. So let me go on YouTube and go, let's see, I have to be here. I'm not going to show it because that would defeat the purpose. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I should visit that. Let's see, I am, yeah, let me do this. Ah, okay. All right, let me mute myself. Oh, I'll get the echo. Now I'm going to do this. Bling, you should see it disappear soon. You'll probably see it, start seeing some of your messages go. Yep, there you go. See, I'm live. They're really old. There's this guy on a Snapchat that does these videos where he pretends to be like Pizza Hut and Caesars, but he did like a social media, and he's like, oh, like Snapchat, and he like do all these different characters. But he comes out in a wheelchair, being like the super old guy's like, yeah, and he's like MySpace, like like you're really old. Actually, I'm wondering if I could, maybe I could do something here. If I could just do everything. It's gotta be. Can I hide it? No, that won't do it. Yeah, yeah, it is. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I just suddenly saw like I have it set. So I don't know why where it flags comments. So I'll say the blank goes down. You tagged that, but it says show or hide. So I didn't know you sent that. For two for a minute. Uh-oh. Yeah, like you said, dark web is awful and usually involves bad blank. So it hits some of your messages. I'm just seeing it now. Uh, okay. There's gotta be a way to get rid of all messages. But I'll go through them. Yeah, that is weird. I think it's because it's like a delay between when I remove it because I'm doing it on another computer, so it's removing it from one, and then it's taking a minute to show up to. Yeah, it blocks out swears. Like personally, I don't care. I don't care if people swear up a storm on my channel, but YouTube is a different story. Yeah, actually, let's see. I gotta, I have to figure out. Let's see, maybe I could do this. It might be something that I can do once the chat's done. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's probably me. Because remember, I'm logged on a laptop, so I'm viewing it through my own YouTube. So that second viewer is probably myself. It does create one view for yourself, so you're never alone. At least I think so. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, because that too suddenly came up, and that 3 likes, I just liked myself, so I know that was me. Actually, it shows 4 here, so it's just YouTube being YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go through and I'll just go through it. Okay, thanks. Eat donuts, go for it. All right, it may actually. The little girl before. Oh, well, she's actually not that little. She just has like a little. Here, I'm gonna make you a moderator. Let me do that. Let's see if you can delete your own comments. If you could scroll through, because maybe this could actually do something here. I'll just hide that. I have a couple moderators, people that I've had on my channel. Yeah. Did you delete that? Okay. Hey, so okay, even better. I can go get my snacks and you can delete your comments. That way, I won't accidentally miss something. I mean, you could keep some of the ones if you want, like stuff about donuts and all that crap. Awesome. See, I can brain sometimes. All right, I'll hide those. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has actually been a lot of fun. I was really expecting to be on and off in like 2 minutes, but well, but you'll still be moderator. I'll keep you as moderator. I'm not going to kick you off because you've been awesome. So at your leisure, whenever you want, well, you better plug your phone in. You should do that. Wise man once said, plug your phone in. I know that's not that great, but I'm sure the modern wise men would say that. It's like the same thing, like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or like if it hurts when you do this, don't do this. Hey, you should employ your cat. Let your cat um, teach it to remove comments. Maybe you could like have your cat watch my videos so you can stream like 24/7. Oh, speaking of dad, actually, I have to put this. I haven't uploaded yet because I was going to do that whole foreign chicks thing, but I actually recorded dad's feel good. Uh, that his feels good music video, and actually recorded the chicks that you saw watching dad's video and how they respond to it. So I need to upload that soon, and hopefully that he'll like that. Oh yeah, and if you do watch my synthwave, I do actually have played. I did play a couple of his songs, and I danced to it. So there's that little Easter egg. I did dance to a couple of Dad's stuff. I don't dance like him though. I'm not that creative and fancy. Yes, mission accomplished. I got you to laugh. Yeah, so I threw in like that CFB song and the Dad Feels. I made my own moves. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So some of this stuff is, yeah. Get the triangle. All right, time for me to get a snack. Thank you for stopping by. Um, I still have one more relax wave I need to do because I got to finish up that. I have like a, and there's like an hour and a half left of that, and then I'll do that intense track, which shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by. And hey, if you can get more of Dad's people over my channel, that's more to merry. I'd love to have company. I mean, as you can tell, I really like having chat in live stream. It's much better than dancing to an empty chat window for like an hour. So cool. Wow, almost 3 hours. I will stop. It's almost 3 in the morning. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll cut it off before you drop, so it'll be a nice clean. Yeah. So I will call it a night/morning. Fireworks definitely have stopped, which is good. So I can try to sneak out and get my donut. You will like one of my 80s, my 2-minute movie review on one of the 80s movies I did. Speaking of vampires, so I won't say anything more about that. Okay, so I will catch you later. And for the rest of you two out there, please like, subscribe, watch my videos, look at my older stuff. If you see something you like, leave a comment. Say, hey, I really like XYZ. Oh, awesome. Thank you for stopping by. For us 80s kids, we're like-minded. So be careful. Keep safe. And I'll see you, all you, soon. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Let's say time to get the flock out of here. Talk about birds.